Hey guys, Miss Hybert here. I'm missing my fourth graders so much, but we're just having to kind of get used to this new normal of being online and being on Zooms and talking to each other on kid blogs. So thank you for meeting me here for religion today on YouTube. So in your religion lessons this week, you have been reading about the Great Commandment. Now, I have it posted right here, and I really shortened it down from that Matthew chapter 22, but if you shorten it, make it nice and short and sweet to fit on one page, it would say, love God above all and your neighbor as yourself. Now, the story behind the Great Commandment is Jesus was out teaching in public, and a lawyer walks by and kind of hears what's going on and is sort of drawn into the conversation of what they're talking about. So he goes up to Jesus and says, "Teacher, you have all these laws, these commandments. Which is the most important one?" Right? That's such a lawyer thing to ask, isn't it? But Jesus replied that as Christians, it's the most important thing that you can do to love God above all and to love your neighbor as yourself. And by doing those things, by having those two things like ingrained in your heart, you're really covering all the 10 Commandments, right? So that is like the big picture here. That is the most important thing about being a Christian, is how you love others and how you treat others and remembering God in all of that. Okay, so that's where the greatest commandment comes from. So what I want you to do for our fun, artsy religion activity today is I want you to take Jesus's teaching here, and I want you to design a really cool billboard that could spread this message. Now, when you think of billboards, where are they? Yeah, they're on the road, right? Like you're driving in your car, usually pretty fast if you're on the interstate, but it's a sign that you see on the road, and it's usually really big, and it's got a couple aspects that I want to talk about that makes a really good billboard. Now, I want you to consider these things when you come up with your design today, okay? So, I have, the glare kind of messes this up a little bit, but I know you can hang with me here. I have some billboard tips, okay? That's going to make your billboard really stand out and really look good and be like what real graphic designers do and look for when they are designing actual billboards in real life. So maybe you're going to be a graphic designer one day. It's good to learn these things when you're designing and making ads for things, okay? So we need a simple layout, okay? Something that doesn't have like a ton of tiny details. You want this to be big and clear and simple and clean and crisp and easy to read from far away, right? That's the point here. We want to take this message and get it out in a really simple way. So if you're having to look at your design for too long, bam, your car's already driven by, right? So keep it simple. Don't draw too many tiny little things or little people here or little things there. Keep it simple, keep it clean, okay? All right, the next tip that I have for you is to keep it short and sweet. There's a rule that billboard designers go by that a car only has like 5 to 10 seconds maybe to see your billboard, and it's gone, right? They've driven by already. So if this isn't something you can read in 5 to 10 seconds, then your design is not short, it's not small enough, it's too long, okay? So keep your design and what you're trying to say short and sweet. Now, some billboards even suggest that you do 7 words or less. Maybe you use pictures instead of words. I want you to come up with a creative way of how you're going to take this message and make a cool billboard for it so it gets Jesus's teaching across, okay? Another really good tip for a really good billboard is bold and colorful. Now, when I say bold, I mean the fonts that you use or that you draw, right? You want it to be big. You want it to be something that you can read from far away. If you have to squint to read a billboard, you're doing it wrong, right? So make sure that your font is big, bold, clear, easy to read. It doesn't blend into the background or whatever you decide to make on your billboard, something that you can, bam, see it from forever away, okay? The next tip I have is make it colorful. You want this to catch somebody's eye that's driving by, okay? So make sure you use lots of color, or that you're smart with the colors that you use. Okay, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a couple examples that I have right here of some pretty cool billboards. One of my favorite places, Chick-fil-A, right? Even if I bring it back all the way here, you can still read it, right? That black lettering really stands out against that white background. Of course, the red really stands out too. So that's a good example of a simple layout, and it's still pretty bold. Now, it doesn't have a ton of colors, but the colors that they do use work really well together. So something like this is a good billboard design. And that font, we know that font, right? You see that font and you're like, oh, that's Chick-fil-A. Okay, so that's a good idea. Here's another good one for colorful, right? This one really nails it with the colorful. I feel like if I drove by this, it would really catch my eye. For one of those trampoline parks. Fun, huh? All right, now this one is super creative. Look at this billboard. So this is going through a tunnel in the mountains. Ah! It's a billboard for a rest, like a rest stop. You know, one of those truck stops where you can get, you know, snacks, fast food. They've got good bathrooms, right? How creative though. I want you to get creative with how you make your design for Jesus' teaching here of the Great Commandment, okay? So how could you really play this up? That's a pretty neat idea. All right, here's another really cool and really creative one. I found a picture of this. It's for McDonald's salads, okay? Now it looks like cool font, right? It looks like lettuce. It's actual lettuce. This is like a living billboard. How creative. The caption under this that I read, I found it online, of course, and the caption said it took them 3 weeks to grow the lettuce to make it say fresh salads. So that's like soil and lettuce. Pretty cool, huh? So maybe your billboard for the Great Commandment will include some kind of something that's living. That would be neat, okay? Here's another good example of just a classic billboard. There's not a lot of words. You know what it's advertising. You know what to get. It's pretty simple, short and sweet. I know exactly what this is trying to sell me. A Whopper. And that if I buy one, I'll get one free, okay? I love how bold it is, how easy it is to read from far away. Good example of just a classic billboard. And then the last one I have, I love it. Turtles, right? Another good example of using lots of color. I feel like this would really stand out if I was driving along. Huge pictures. That's kind of what I'm talking about when I say simple layout. Look how big, you know, the ocean is full of creatures, right? But the designer didn't include every single creature of the ocean. They zoomed in on one particular creature, right? They really made the details of this turtle stand out because it's like zoomed in. It's not like a tiny turtle far away in the ocean. It's really zoomed in. It's a bold thing that you look at. The font is super bold, big, easy to read. So something like this would be really informative, really good kind of billboard to catch your eye. You've got a lot of information all in one thing. You could go to this website, you could check out the hashtag. So I could read that really quick driving by and still learn a lot. And it's very eye-catching. So I hope those designs kind of help inspire you to how you're going to design your billboard about the Great Commandment, okay? Now, feel free to use my shortened condensed version, make your own shortened condensed version, or you can use the version that you find in your religion book, okay? But the purpose of this billboard is to tell people what this great commandment is, okay, and what it means, or however you want to make it shine, okay? So the only thing that you'll need, of course, is paper and anything to color with. If you have it, I just suggest using white, just plain old computer paper. You can use notebook paper, whatever you have, and I would turn it landscape. Because if you notice, billboards are usually landscape. That's kind of the traditional way they are. Okay, so most of your billboards should probably be landscape. This is called portrait. This is called landscape. Landscape's probably going to give you the best design platform here, okay? So, yeah, I want you to get creative with this. You must include the Great Commandment in there somehow, of course. But be creative with how you do it. Maybe, you know, you include something real like the lettuce in the McDonald's billboard. But whatever you do, take some of these tips, keep them in mind, and just have fun with this. Whenever you finish your billboard, send me a picture through the Remind app. You can email it to me, whatever you and your family find easiest. But anyway, so I hope that helps you get started on your fun religion lesson today. I miss you guys tons. Be sure to say hello in the comments or something. I always love hearing from you guys, but have fun doing a little art today, okay? All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.